Good afternoon. My name is Maame Otuakua Nyame, and this is the AAU TV Mid-week news coming to you from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities here in Accra, Ghana. Now to our top stories. KNUST graduates Ghana's first doctoral candidate in law. In Discovery, Senegal launches eco-friendly taxi program. In business, Ghana launches $60 billion petroleum hub project. In international, Ukrainian naval drones strike Russian oil tankers in Black Sea. Please stick with us for the news in detail after this short break. We'll be right back. Now, on November 29, 2025, the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in Kumasi marked a historic milestone by graduating Ghana's first doctoral candidate in law during its 59th congregation. The three scholars presented research on tax administration, insurance consumer protection, and renewable energy governance, making KNUST the first institution in Ghana to train and graduate PhD holders in law. It forms part of a broader effort to align legal scholarships with national development priorities.
Dr. Delali Ajogao examined long-standing difficulties in applying Ghana's income tax law, confronting gaps that have hindered effective tax administration for decades. Dr. Edmond Nelson Amasa focused on systemic delays and denials in third-party motor insurance claims, highlighting consumer protection issues within the insurance sector. Dr. Richard Obey-Mensah explored legal and regulatory barriers to renewable energy adoption, offering solutions to strengthen Ghana's clean energy agenda. In total, KNUST conferred 221 doctoral degrees at the congregation, with the 3 law doctorates representing a small but significant portion of the 2,368 postgraduate graduates. Vice-Chancellor Professor Rita Akosia-Dixon reported that 17,132 students graduated overall, including 14,764 undergraduates. Vice President Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman praised the PhD graduates for their achievement, urging them to uphold integrity in their fields. She noted that academic research demands immense time and effort, but contribute to expanding human knowledge and advancing national development. Chancellor Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II, the Asantehene, also addressed the gathering. He raised concerns about Ghana's unemployment crisis, calling on President John Dramani Mahama to take urgent action. He warned that rising unemployment threatens national stability and appealed for international support for small and medium-scale enterprises. The graduation of these first 3 PhD holders in law positions KNUST as leaders in advanced legal education, with research that directly tackles present policy issues, signals the university's commitment to national progress.
Meanwhile, on November 23 and 24, 2025, at least 10 higher education institutions in Kebbi and Bauchi State, Nigeria, were closed indefinitely after worsening insecurity led to mass abductions of civilians. This included between 300 and 400 school children across 19 states in November alone. State government ordered the shutdowns to protect school children, and with closures enforced through directives and circular requiring immediate evacuation of campuses and hostels.
The National Human Rights Commission earlier revealed that 2,266 people were killed and 857 abducted in the first half of 2025. Security experts say armed bandits target schools for ransom, viewing them as soft places to attack. Academic advocate Ambali Abdul Kabir explained that terrorists see students as vulnerable and use attacks to stir public pressure on the government. In Kebbi State, Commissioner Isa Abubakar Tunga ordered the closure of all tertiary institutions including Kebbi State University of Science and Technology and several colleges. Abdullahi Fadia University of Science and Technology followed suit, directing all students to vacate the campus within an hour. Registrar Maimoro Alhaji Tili acknowledged concerns about the abrupt notice but said the institution acted on government directives. Adamu Ogi College of Education and Federal Polytechnic Bauchi also suspended academic activities indefinitely. Students expressed frustration, with final year architecture student Ibrahim Yaya lamenting that the closure disrupted exams and research projects, while Students' Union President Mustafa Mohammed Marafa supported the decision, noting few students were affected as exams had just concluded. President Bola Tinubu has directed the Minister of State for Defense to relocate to Kebbi following the abduction of schoolgirls, while announcing the rescue of dozens of worshippers and pupils in Kwara and Niger states. Experts warned the closures could have far-reaching consequences. Abdul Kabir highlighted the risk of declining enrollment, brain drain, and widening educational inequality, while security analyst Joshua Biem stressed that shutting schools is only a temporary measure, urging the government to address the socio-economic drivers of insecurity and strengthen intelligence systems. For Nigeria students, the hope is that peace will be restored soon so learning can continue.
Now in health, Somalia, one of the world's poorest countries, is confronting a worsening health crisis after the Trump administration dismantled the U.S. Agency for International Development earlier this year, cutting off vital funding. In August, warnings from Doctors Without Borders revealed that 37 health and nutrition sites in Beidwa had closed, while hospitals in the capital remain dependent on donor support. This underscores why fragile services are collapsing and how foreign aid cuts, donor fatigue, and government prioritization of security over health have left millions vulnerable.
While attacks by al-Shabaab have declined under President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud's total war strategy, civic leaders argue that military gains are coming at the expense of essential services. Mahad Wasuge of the Somali Public Agenda said a significant amount of domestic revenue is directed to security, showing that health remains a secondary priority. Inside Mogadishu's overstretched hospitals, foreign assistance is the backbone. At Banadir Hospital, the unit treating malnourished children survives entirely on donor funding from Concern Worldwide, which provides food and pays the salaries of 13 staff after 37 lost their jobs due to aid cut. At Di Martino Hospital, Director Dr. Abdurrahim Omar Amin explained that nearly all laboratory equipment was required through donors, but fears contracts with humanitarian groups will expire next year. He added that only 2 NGOs remain active and donor fatigue is evident. Deputy Health Minister Mohammed Hassan Boulali said Somalia is working with partners on a contingency plan, though details remain unclear. Parliamentarian Mohammed Adam Dini described the crisis as a reflection of political failure, noting that the absence of a national health plan coincides with the lack of a broader political strategy. Despite the bleak outlook, many Somalis still rely on Mogadishu's few functioning hospitals. Amina Abdul Kadir Mohammed, a jobless mother, chose to give birth at Di Martino because she knew she would not be asked for payment, saying she was told there was free medication. With donor fatigue rising and foreign funding uncertain, Somalia now faces the urgent question of how to safeguard the health of millions who depend on a system held together by fragile support.
Please stick with us for the news and discovery after this short break. We'll be right back.
The Association of Public Administration and Management, AAPAM, in partnership with ELEN LXD, is offering scholarship opportunities for the online Masters in Public Administration from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. This program is designed to equip you with advanced skills in leadership, policy, and management, all delivered online for flexibility, affordability, and accessibility across Africa. With the AAPAM eLearn LXD scholarship, eligible members can receive partial or full funding to pursue this world-class master's degree while continuing their professional work. Don't miss this opportunity to advance your career, strengthen governance, and make an impact in Africa's public sector. Apply now and indicate your interest in the scholarship at the link below. Learn more and start your journey today.
Are you a university, college, high school, private organization, NGO, individual professor, instructor or facilitator seeking to take advantage of the numerous benefits of online education? Look no further. The AAU eLearn Africa LMS is a great opportunity to begin your journey to online course development and creation for teaching, learning and training purposes. AAU eLearn Africa LMS, which is a partnership between the Association of African Universities and eLearn Africa, has made available ease to use online learning tools to all stakeholders within the educational ecosystem of the African continent. This is to enhance teaching and learning in the bid to expand online learning opportunities for students in Africa. The online platform is open and available for free to all stakeholders and facilitates virtual access to classes without needing the other tools such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, among others. For more information, visit www.elearnafricalms.com or contact us via aaulms@aau.org or estherm@elearnafrica.com. Follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at AAU eLearn Africa LMS.
And you're welcome back from the break. And in our Discovery News, Senegal will introduce 1,000 hybrid taxis beginning in February 2026 under a financing agreement between the Land Transport Development Fund and the Bank for Trade and Industry. With the first 100 vehicles arriving in Dakar, the purpose is to modernize the aging informal taxi fleet. The initiative also aims to improve urban mobility, reduce emission and formalize the sector by requiring drivers to operate under the structured agreement with proper maintenance, oversight and financial accountability.
Imported cars maintained outside official channels. Authorities have long considered the sector a weak point in urban mobility, particularly in Dakar, where nearly 7 million trips occur daily and demand far exceeds capacity. The hybrid taxi program introduces a structured financial mechanism for drivers. Vehicles will be acquired under managed agreements requiring proper maintenance, technical monitoring, and operational oversight. By adhering to these standards, drivers become more creditworthy, gaining access to banking services previously unavailable to many in the informal sector. The reform built on findings from the 2024 Public Transport Meeting, which highlighted insufficiencies in last-mile connectivity. While investments in the regional express train, bus rapid transition and expanded bus fleet have strengthened major corridors, taxis remain critical for neighborhood access. Hybrid taxis are designed to bridge the gap, providing reliable feeder services and short-distance travel. The program also responds to environmental challenges. Many current taxis are older models with high emission. Senegal's National Mobility Strategy 2025 to 2029 calls for gradual fleet renewal to improve safety, reduce pollution, and enhance service quality. Hybrid vehicles are expected to cut fuel consumption and emission while supporting broader climate goals. By linking access to vehicle with contractual agreement, authorities aim to professionalize the sector, strengthen drivers' economic positions, and integrate private mobility with larger transit networks. The first batch of taxis will set the precedent for future deliveries, signaling the sustainable transition for one of West Africa's busiest urban areas. Preview.
In London, the Africa Cup of Nations trophy was unveiled as part of the Morocco 2025 Diaspora Tour, which will travel to Paris and Tokyo before this month's tournament in Morocco. The unveiling celebrates African football spirit and unity, with Kenya's former midfielder Victor Wanyama highlighting the challenges of the qualification as the competition kicks off in December 21, 2025 in Casablanca, Marrakesh, Rabat and Agadir. This will run until January 18, 2026, showcasing how star players and rising nations will compete for continental glory.
Kenya's former midfielder Victor Wanyama attended the unveiling and reflected on the challenges teams face in qualifying. He explained that reaching the tournament requires immense physical and technical effort, noting that African football is highly competitive and demands deep commitment from both players and teams. AFCON 2025 will be hosted by Morocco beginning December 21 and running until January 18. Matches will take place in Casablanca, Marrakesh, Rabat and Agadir, promising a showcase of African talent, unity and national pride. Wanyama also emphasized the continent's passion for football, pointing to countries like Madagascar that have risen from obscurity to become recognized footballing nations. Star players expected to shine include Senegal's Sadio Mane, renowned for his speed and skill. Morocco's captain Achraf Hakimi, celebrated for his leadership and dynamic play, and Egypt's Mohamed Salah, who will lead the Pharaohs in pursuit of another title. Rising talents such as Nigeria's Victor Osimhen and Ghana's Mohamed Kudus are also eager to make their mark on the tournament's storied history. AFCON 2025 promises not only fierce competition, but also a celebration of African identity and footballing excellence on the global stage.
The 22nd International Film Festival opened with more than 80 films from 31 countries running until December 6, 2025. The event brings together global stars and creators with Arab and international tributes highlighting why the festival remains a premier showcase and how its jury, chaired by South Korean director Bong Joon-ho, will oversee the competition and celebrate cinematic excellence.
The festival will continue until December 6, offering screenings, tributes and discussions that celebrate both Arab and international cinema. The opening ceremony introduced the jury, chaired this year by acclaimed South Korean director and screenwriter Bong Joon-ho, who is best known for his award-winning film Parasite. Organizers emphasize that the festival is not only a showcase of cinematic artistry, but also a platform for dialogue between cultures. The presence of international stars and creators underscored Marrakesh's growing reputation as a hub for global film exchange. Tributes to Arab and international filmmakers topped the opening events, reflecting the festival's commitment to honoring contributions that have shaped the industry. With a wide range of genres and themes represented, audiences can express stories that highlight pressing social issues, celebrate cultural identity, and push creative boundaries. As the festival unfolds, Marrakesh becomes a stage for cinematic excellence, where established names and emerging talents alike share their work with audiences from around the world.
Ever wondered what drives ordinary people to do extraordinary things? Every week, a new story unfolds. But these aren't just stories. They are the journeys of courage, resilience, and vision. On Impact Stories, we open the door to remarkable personalities and everyday heroes. Experience the passion behind their purpose. Witness the setbacks, the breakthroughs, and the moment that defines a legacy. Journey with us on AAU TV every Saturday at 4 p.m. as we celebrate those who are making an impact. Tune in to Impact Stories, where real people share real journeys and real impact, each one leaving behind a legacy written in gold. Only on AAU TV. Now in business, on August 2025 in Jomoro, Western region, Ghana signed a $12 billion first phase agreement with the TCPUIC consortium to begin developing a $60 billion petroleum hub. The project, slated for completion within the next decade, will position Ghana as Africa's energy gateway by addressing the continent's fuel deficit while creating up to 780,000 jobs and boosting gross domestic product by 70% through refineries, petrochemical plants, and deep water port infrastructure, with the Petroleum Hub Development Corporation outlining how free zones incentives and Ghana's strategic location will attract global investors.
Chief Executive Dr. Tony Albin described the hub as a transformative venture that will serve as both an energy complex and a modern city, complete with medical facilities, hotels, and financial institutions. He explained that the project will include 3 refineries with a combined capacity of 900,000 barrels per day, 5 petrochemical plants, and storage capacity of 10 million cubic meters. The government has committed 20,000 acres of service land in Jomoro, offering deep water access for the largest oil tankers. Ghana's stable political environment, skill force, and strategic maritime location are seen as key advantages for attracting long-term investors. Economic projections show the hub could generate $1.56 million in value, create between 500,000 and 800,000 jobs, and increase GDP by more than 70%. Albin emphasized that the initiative aligns with President John Dramani Mahama's 24-hour economy policy and big push agenda to stimulate industrial growth. Speaker of Parliament Alban Babin endorsed the hub as a strategic national priority, pointing to Singapore as an example of how a small state can become a global refinery hub. Deputy Minister Richard Jan Mensah added that Ghana's positioning amid the global energy transition makes the project vital for refinery, storage, and distribution of petrochemical products. The petroleum hub represents Ghana's mission to shift West Africa away from costly reliance on foreign suppliers towards local processing capacity, ensuring reliable, affordable, and sustainable energy for homes and industries across the continent.
On international front, on Friday and Saturday off the Turkish coast in the Black Sea, Ukrainian naval drones struck 2 Russian oil tankers named Kairos and Virat, which were flagged to the Gambia. Officials described it as an escalation aimed at weakening Russia's oil revenues. The attacks, carried out with the Sea Baby drones, caused fires but no casualties, highlighting how Ukraine is targeting Russia's so-called shadow fleet to disrupt sanctions, evading shipment, and pressure Morocco's war financing.
Turkish authorities identified the vessels as the Kairos and Virat, both flagged to the Gambia. The Kairos was struck in the southwest Black Sea, while the Virat was hit further east and reportedly targeted the following day. No casualties were reported. The tankers are part of Russia's so-called shadow fleet, hundreds of aging vessels with obscure ownership used to bypass Western sanctions imposed after the 2022 invasion of Ukraine. Both ships are listed under international sanctions databases. Ukraine's security services employed Sea Baby drones in the attack. Turkish officials say they assisted the vessels, releasing footage of boats attempting to extinguish the fire on the Kairos. Analysts view the strikes as a warning that ships carrying Russian oil in the Black Sea now face direct attack, not just sanctions. Separately, the Caspian Pipeline Consortium suspended loading at Russia's Novorossiysk port after unmanned boats damaged a mooring point. Kazakhstan Foreign Minister Aybek Smadiyarov condemned the incident, stressing the importance of stable energy supplies and urging Ukraine to prevent future attacks. Meanwhile, President Volodymyr Zelensky announced that a delegation led by Security Chief Rustem Umerov is traveling to the United States for talks on ending the war. The move follows the resignation of Chief of Staff Andrew Yamak after an anti-corruption investigation. Umarov is expected to meet U.S. officials in Florida, while Washington's envoy Steve Witkoff prepares for talks in Moscow next week.
That is all for the news, and now let's take a quick recap of our headlines. In higher education, KNUST graduates Ghana's first doctoral candidate in law. In discovery, Senegal launches eco-friendly taxi program. In business, Ghana launches $60 billion petroleum hub project. In international, Ukrainian naval drones strike Russians' oil tankers in Black Sea. And now, thank you very much for sticking with us on the AAU TV Midweek News. Get interactive with us on our dedicated news portals and social media platforms at Association of African Universities. My name is Maame Ekua, Otuakua, Nyame. Do have a lovely day.